All right, everyone, welcome. Thank you for being here. I know very few of y'all know me. I've had the pleasure of talking with some of y'all in DMs. My name is Hykage. I come from a competitive background, collegiate athlete in two sports for a D3 school in Texas. Played lots of intramural sports and club sports after my eligibility was done. I run an adult rec sports company, IRL, during the evenings, and I'm a graphic designer by day. But competing and community are something very near and dear to my heart. I played team sports all growing up. I got turned on to League of Legends sometime in college, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the community. Gecko here, my buddy, is one of my longer term League of Legends friends, and he's also one of my uh, I guess, heads, directors for the streaming organization that I'm a part of, Mount Olympus. Uh, they recruited me to make some content for them. Through
Yeah.
a series of fortunate events, I am here today. Friends of friends connected me with the league. I've been looking to start one for a while. I've run four Masters teams over the last couple of years to compete in different and various leagues, so I'm familiar with that side of them. I've not run an esports league, though I do run, like I said, adult rec sports leagues during the evenings. That's my main gig. So organization and competition are I'm pretty familiar with. I'm not entirely familiar with the backside. I have had a lot of help, and I've been blowing up Soulkeeper and Vishkara. Uh, they've been answering lots of questions, so I appreciate some just grace as I try and sort through what's going on here. But my goal is to make this a very competitive organization that you get not just quality competition, but also quality community. So from staff to just everyday engagement with community members, I want to um, bring all that to another level. So I'll open up a channel for suggestions. So if you guys have suggestions, we'll definitely take them into consideration. Not looking to overhaul anything else. I'm going over the rule book today, making some few minor adjustments, reformatting it, and stuff like that. So there's will be very minor things. Big changes. I want to get the league started again in June. Any big changes will probably be the following league. Um, so I want to run concurrent leagues. So once one league stops, the next league will start, and there'll be schedule breaks. But the idea will be to have our season mapped out at the beginning of the year, and you'll be able to see when all of our league start dates are. So there's a lot of clarity for you, so you can organize teams, figure out your schedule, stuff like that, and build consistency. My dad was a really big proponent for consistency and just being able to show up the same place and everybody knows where you're going to be, what you're going to do, and what you're all about. You're just very consistent. So that's a literally, uh, I think that's literally all I've got to say. Introducing Gecko here. He's going to be some of our stream talent. He's a very talented man, very good friend of mine. Love him to death. So you'll see him around. You'll see some new people that I'll be bringing in to do some different things. We will be opening up staff applications, looking for people that want to see this community grow and take it to the next level. I forgot to mention I did have some experience putting together a proving grounds qualifying team. We went 2-3, so not our best effort, and it was definitely a learning experience. But that's the kind of competition I want to bring to this server and this community is from all levels, from proving grounds teams to, this is my first time playing League of Legends. I really don't like the toxicity of the community, so I'm going to be a very big proponent of mind, body, and spirit and developing all aspects to encouraging people to reach their full potentials. Um, because I think when you're out of balance in one area, it affects everything else. So, Gecko, I know you're new to this organization. What questions do you have about the this SCL?
Yeah. So, kind of want to understand what the overarching um, goal and tempo is going to be. Um, I've been involved in conversations with those folks and proving grounds. I have some connections to some really great casting friends of mine for the LPL, for Wild Rift, etc. So, kind of want to understand how I can be of help and what the tempo and what our roadmap looks like, so that I can best assist.
I appreciate that. So our roadmap is, it's my understanding that all the staff is currently volunteer. My roadmap
Mhm.
is to, by January, have leagues and sponsors set up to where we can pay staff so we can grow.
Mhm.
And then
Right.
with paid staff, like I think that encourages more quality interactions. I'm not saying that
Right.
volunteers can't do that, but I think quality volunteers hired on brings another recipe for success. So that's one of the things we're doing. I think I haven't mapped it out yet, all the seasons, but apparently, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the general chat. I'll bring some of y'all up to talk in the voice chat in a little bit. But SCL runs 10-week leagues
Mhm.
with 8 weeks of regular season and 2 weeks of playoffs, is my understanding.
Yep.
So June we're gonna start with another 10-week league, and then repeat, wash, rinse, repeat that, and make fine tuning adjustments. We're gonna keep the same leagues that we have. I believe there's a Golden Plat League, a Silver League, and a Diamond League. Was my
Okay.
understanding of the breakdown. So we're not going to expand anything quite yet. Maybe something in the new year that we look at. But it seems like the majority of our community is around the gold plat level, and we kind of want to fulfill that niche as best we can.
Great. Yeah.
What else do you want to know?
Um.
If any of y'all have
Yeah.
questions, drop them in the general chat for me so I can answer them. I would love to get some of the staff up here to talk about just what they want to see out of me, what they want to see out of SCL. So if you're a staff member, request to talk or jump up here and let's talk for a minute, and then we'll get to the community members.
Yeah. Kind of curious on what. So we got the roadmap. We got kind of where we want to be. Um. The next question is, I mean, we also have where we're at right now. So the next question is what is the membership goals and retention? Uh, what has it been currently, and where is it going to go from here? What's our plan for that?
I just enabled server stats, so that was not previously enabled, so I don't know what retention and stuff looks like very
Okay.
well. Um, so I'll be tracking that and kind of developing that. Um, Obviously, we want to grow. We'll have prizes and giveaways and stuff like that to kind of like promote the server and stuff like that.
Okay.
So one of the questions was I run rec leagues during the evenings, how that's going to affect my availability for when SCL is most active. I don't
Mhm.
actually personally run them. I organize them, and then I actually have a lot of college athletes that manage the leagues on the nights that they're running. So they will be present at the facility to run the leagues and stuff like that. So I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule um, to be present here, right? To be active
Mhm.
within the community.
Mhm. Okay. Follow-up question. I understand that you said that as of right now it is a volunteer situation. However, the goal is to get some people on payroll so that people who are taking the time out of their busy schedule can get compensated aside from just sharing their love of the game um, with an audience. So is that looking like sponsorships? Is that looking like memberships? Where are we looking
So
for
there's a couple different
that?
things. We will be adjusting team entry fees. We will obviously take a percentage of that to help run.
Okay.
Um, we will be offering coaching services as well to help facilitate growth, right? And that's one of the things that I said, mind, body, and spirit. So we
Mhm.
offer coaching sessions, and that will help facilitate and generate revenue for us. Um, so entry fees, coaching. Um, we've got a dope logo, so we'll probably do some merch at some point for that.
Okay.
And so yeah, sponsorships and coaching, I think, and league fees are going to be our revenue source.
Okay.
Biggest issue was we had no staff. Was it? Excuse me, I can read sometimes.
Mhm.
Biggest issue we had as a staff was no consistency at higher up in terms of availability, but we were all reliable for stream games. Production side. Okay, so the production side sounds like they just need more support from myself and whoever else we get to help manage this, and that should not be a problem. I'm a huge proponent of enabling other people to be successful at their jobs. All right, I don't want to micromanage. I don't want to uh, tell you how to do your job. I would like to know how your job works, so if I need to fill in, I can help. But
Mhm.
that way, you do what you need to do, and then you tell me what you need, and I can do my best to facilitate that.
Okay. I think one last question I have, and I think this might be the most important question here, is how do we feel about Timo?
Timo. As a champion, he's pretty cute and cuddly. Um, as a player on my team, he probably sits the bench most games,
Mhm.
except for when he
Okay.
plays jungle.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
Timo Jungle
Timo
is
jungle
viable.
a okay in my book.
Okay.
Are we keeping the same layout of games per week streamed, or do you plan on changing that? I am not super familiar with what the current format of stream is. That was something that I'll look into and get back to you on. I would like to be consistent, so whatever it is that we're doing, I would like to keep it and maintain it. I know LXC has been very gracious in supporting us, so that I want to keep any conflict from what they're doing to help us uh, while we try and navigate this new takeover. So keep them from. I want to keep from scheduling conflicts with them. Okay, sponsors. Yeah. So, like I said, I run an adult rec sports company, and I'm very active in my community, and so I do have a lot of experience acquiring sponsors. Uh, we we sell a lot of advertising for our league on our shirts and on uh, our weekly newsletter, and so one of the other things I went to school for was marketing. So I double
Mhm.
majored in marketing and graphic design. So I do have experience with sponsorships.
Mhm. And I bring a background in business sales and sponsorship application and management as well.
Sorry, I was reading the general chat, catching up because everybody was lost for a second. What reputation do I have in previous amateur circuits? I do have contacts. I've worked worked with Team Ambition a little bit, so I'm not sure if you guys know who they are. They're a pretty prominent name in the amateur competitive scene. Protz is on my friends list. I DM him from time to time. He answers usually whenever he gets time. He's a super busy guy. But I have a decent amount of contacts. Like I said, I've been competing for a couple of years now in the amateur scene. Um, and my teams have placed top 4 usually. We haven't won one yet, but we were placing top 4 in the money. And so that's kind of where we are. My organization is called HOH Gaming. Stands for House of Hykage, but we just go by HOH Gaming. And then I've also helped Mount Olympus put some teams together as well. Do we have any plans on how to increase league viewership outside of putting forward a better product that would entice sponsors? I mean,
Marketing, I can chime in here
yeah.
if you'd like, Hykage. Yeah, so marketing is going to play a really big part. Obviously, League of Legends is a saturated market. However, in order to define what our key differentiator is and then building something up from there, in addition, I think leveraging some of our more well-known talent is going to be beneficial in gaining access to new markets there. So I think that's going to be a big part of go-to-market strategy 1.0, and then we can reassess from there. And that comes from content creation, content distribution, in which I think we bring a very strong background in. Hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. Hope that answers your question.
Can I talk?
Yes, you can. Welcome, Conspire. Conspire is actually the link that linked me to SCL. He is part of my organization. He runs some tournaments as well, and so he will be filling in and helping out and doing things here. So why don't you say hello?
Hi there, guys. Yeah, I've been here for a bit. I was just muted. I didn't actually know how to do it until just now. I wanted to answer a little bit more about the marketing side.
Sure.
So, basically, with the marketing, there are a lot of like league subreddits and league discords. I actually am in a lot of them, and it's very easy to reach out to these people and just talk to them, see if they're willing to let you shut yourselves down. And in this case, I think especially with the League of Legends, right? That's definitely an option because it does fall within the rule set. Summer school as well with the coaching portions. Then there's also the fact that like you can keep continuous re-engagement going on with you know how like the pro games have on League of Legends Reddit they have like the score lines and people discussing stuff on the Reddit. We could do the same thing theoretically. Keep the tournament, keep the organization top of mind and the eyes of a lot of people, and they might get intrigued. They might want to join in. You might want to come watch the streams. And again, it's just going to a lot of discords, seeing if they're interested. One strategy could just be literally just playing with people. If you're playing a game of ranked, if you like somebody, you can invite them to come check us out. It's really as simple as that. Then he has friends, and word of mouth. So word of mouth is actually really important. It's how a lot of this type of stuff grows. And then I guess finally, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube. So long as it's well presented, I think it'll get engagement. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna mute myself again.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, just making quality content. So consistency and just working through the day-to-day grind is not something I am unfamiliar with or afraid of, I'm 1.3 mil ergot one trick. So like, there's a lot of grind there. I like the grind. The grind is part of the game, right? Part of the whole thing. So I take that mentality into whatever it is I'm doing. You know, sometimes it's just one foot in front of the other until you reach your goal. And I have some very, very big goals. Are we going to have dedicated people to do the responsibilities mentioned all the time, or will they be working on other leagues too? Um, so I I wear many hats, and I know not everybody does that or wants to do that, but I'm not going to deny opportunity for people to do that. So if somebody wants to participate in a couple different things and do a couple different things, I'm going to uh, allow that as long as the quality of content, work, whatever it is, isn't affected. That being said, I do like dedicated people to a specific task and specific thing. Like, you know, I was a soccer player in college, so like having your forward who's really good at being forward, you don't really want him playing defense too, right? Like you want specific people doing specific things, and I think having those people, the right people in the right places, makes an organization a well-oiled machine. So ideally, I would like to have specific people working on specific things. I'm not opposed to having multiple people work on multiple different things as long as it doesn't affect the quality. I mentioned registrations on Monday and looking to start the league in June. It's a very short time frame. Finding staff, teams processing. Uh, is this timeline workable? It is a massive amount of work. It's probably more than I really thought when I first start. When I first came into here, I thought it would be pretty easy to just jump right in. It is, the timeline is workable. It's also flexible. So like if we need to I said start the league in June. So I originally wanted to start it like the first full week of June, but we might push it back to like into June, or even as late as after the 4th of July. So I I announced it to get some excitement, some buzz, but I will try and like figure out and nail down a potential date when we can start, to figure that out and let y'all know as soon as possible. Great questions. Keep them coming. What else you guys got for me? We're going to keep the same leagues that are currently running. Uh, we will talk about adding other leagues probably at the beginning of the year. Or if things just super. I'm never going to say no to opportunity, so if things like uh, just take off, we'll address it as it is. Doki doesn't like silver players. All right, let's see. It's my understanding that silver is currently running. Am I incorrect in believing that? That's what playoffs is going on is right now? I understand there's some damage control that needs to be done with that league, and there's a lot of things I'm looking into. So nothing is entirely set in stone. I just know that I want to run a competitive organization. Because the rule book, okay, that's good to know. I'm working on the rule book actually. So we had a question about how did I acquire SCL. How open am I to investing my own money to grow the league and help it prosper? Uh, you know, I like everything I do to succeed. So blood, sweat, tears, and gold. I'm not afraid to put into whatever it is that I believe in. So there's a lot of confusion with what the members of SCL know from previous versus my new plan. Silver didn't do well because of the rulebook. We're going to revamp the rules. Like I said, I will be opening a channel for suggestions and feedback, so you guys can give. I'll actually do that right now. It'll be under general, so you can give me feedback and stuff like that. It's right under general. So if you have suggestions on what we can do to make this better, I would love that. If you just want to bash something about that I was not previously involved in, that really is not helpful. So would not appreciate that. Vishkara, do you want to come up and talk a little bit? We haven't talked actually, and just maybe you can bridge the gap with some of the community and me. Hi.
I'm not really sure what I'm gonna say.
No, you're good. You've been so helpful. It's nice to talk to you. So you said there seems to be some confusion. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, so SCL has a lot of announcements and stuff from the previous TOs. A lot of it, like SCL's closing, SCL's never gonna open up IBS again. SCL's gonna revamp the rule book. SCL's gonna do this and that, and so a lot of the players are very frustrated and confused. The rule book is a huge, massive issue that is messing with most of the players in the SCL. We've lost teams left and right over it, so it's
Okay. Well, then that'll be.
you see the confusion. That's what it is. They're trying to understand because they're basing what they know off of what they've been told previous.
Well, previously announced. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, that's fair. So I'm not super familiar with what everybody else has said. I'm just telling you what my game plan is moving forward. So.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
and I get that.
Yeah.
I think it's just getting the members to realize you're making a brand new SCL and it's not the old SCL, and that anything previously said needs to kind of be like brushed off the table into the trash can.
Yeah. Everything. The table needs to be cleared, and even old things that need to be addressed need to be re-brought forward, because I have been in the server for about 2 weeks. I've been working on my own version of a competitive server for about 8 months. So I'll be bringing over some rules and stuff like that, but I don't want to change the community immediately. We're going to see what's here, develop what works, what doesn't, because I really believe in enhancing a community, not coming in with an axe and making it what I want it to be. So I want to encourage what is here, what is good and great, and then trim what is not good and great, and rebuild that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Are the casters still the same, or are we bringing in more casters? We do have a couple casters. Gecko's a stream talent. Like I said, I'm part of a streaming organization called Mount Olympus. We do have some stream talent there. They're really awesome guys that I've been gaming with for years. How much are we paying people? Not enough in my book. So we'll be working on that as well. Like I said, our goal is to by January to be able to start paying people, keeping good talent, finding new talent, stuff like that. Open a gold league. Okay. Retired as a caster, but you'd only ever cast the SCL. We can definitely talk. We'd love to talk to you. You'll take doubloons. Okay. I have a couple in my pocket. I think Gecko is actually he's a pirate and he's got like a whole treasure chest of doubloons. So
This is true.
yeah.
A lot of booty. Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that is important to just kind of echo here is that by no means are we. The idea isn't to scrape and rebuild, it's to take what has been working and then identify the areas that might need a little bit of assistance or direction or revamping and fix those, right? Do we keep the thick Thanos emoji? I mean, I don't have any say in that, but you already have my vote to keep that.
If it's a brand new SCL with new ownership, why not rebrand? Rebranding is not off the table, but you're already a community, so I don't see us rebranding anytime in the near future. It'd be one thing if you guys were like brand new, taking over, stuff like that, but y'all are already an established community, so I don't see the reason to rebrand at this current time. So you got some dope stuff already established. I don't think it makes sense to rebrand essentially.
Yeah, I mean, to follow up on that, like, what would the point of a rebrand be? Generally, a rebrand is in order to reintroduce to market, and I don't think that that's necessarily what needs to happen here, right? I think that some of the previous issues can be addressed in keeping the same kind of frame and skeleton of the, business, so to speak. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of upside here. Already having somewhat of an established name in the community, there's no reason to take that away to completely clean slate everything.
Yeah. What about the previous SCL casters? Are they staying? I have not talked to everybody that is on staff, casting or otherwise, so I don't know what everybody's intentions are. A lot of people have left because they heard that like SCL was closing, not going to be moving forward. So I have to reach out to everybody this week and kind of figure out where everybody's at and see who still wants to be a part and stuff like that. There will be a staff application up later this week. So can I clarify how I acquired it? I can. I am not going to at this time. That will be addressed at a later date, possibly. What other leagues do I take part in? Well, you don't get any tea yet. So the other leagues I've been in: Unified, Risen, Aegis. Who else were we in? There was somebody else. I forget who it was. So.
There was the Canadian one. I
Which
don't
one?
remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Was that Metashift? I think it was Metashift.
Phoenix something? Rising Phoenix League? RSL?
Yeah. I didn't have a role with Team Ambition. That was I was running Proving Ground qualifying teams, and so they were just somebody I got into contact with, and I basically annoyed Prots with my questions. Um, I've been part of their challenger showcases as scouting for different orgs and stuff like that. Yes, that proving grounds. Yeah, the one that Riot put an axe to recently. So there's a lot of like, oh, amateur scene is dead. I don't believe that. I think when something leaves and creates a void, there's opportunity to fill that void. Conspire and I were talking about it yesterday. I've been reaching out to colleges because I want to build a pipeline with the amateur scene and collegiate scene, and then we'll take it from there and work on amateur scene to pro scene. With all due respect, what does a silver player know about scouting and running master challenger teams? I mean,
Hey, I'm gold plat. Okay, let's start there.
uh, sure. Like you can take issue with my ability to perform, uh, but just because I cannot what is it? My technical skill is not that of a challenger, doesn't take away from my skill of understanding the game. So
Yeah, and in addition to that, you look at any professional sports team, and the guy on the sideline, the guy that's running recruitment, everyone else, they're not the people that are on the field. If they were that good, they would be on the field and they wouldn't be running the business. Uh,
some people can do both. Some people can only do one. So I am hard stuck silver. I'm not afraid to admit it. I enjoy Urgot too, even when he's bad, and but I understand chemistry, team chemistry, and game concepts really well. So, well, I guess it's a duel to the death. He's gonna have to find a new one trick to main. I do hope to fill the void. My long term plan is to have a professional esports organization. So like big big grand EOS idea is something that rivals an international brand like Manchester United, Dallas Cowboys, like a big esports organization that houses multiple video games and content creators. Just as because something is bad doesn't mean we can't make it better or find something that works or fills the void there.
yeah, I mean TSM is now out, so that leaves a void to be filled, right?
Yeah.
TSM SCL, I feel like it's a very similar ring.
Uh, right? Basically the same, right? Uh,
Might as well be, yeah.
I'm 35. I'm a graphic designer by day and I run Adult Rec Sports by night. So those are my two companies that I run. How am I gonna convince leagues? I mean that's a long term thing. I think uh, we'll deal with that when we get to it. I don't have to worry about it right now. You know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I like to surround myself with successful people and like-minded individuals. So my corner's filled with people that I think will help create the opportunity that I'm looking for. Anybody else have any other questions? Anything else they want to know, need to know? Um, like I said, the suggestions channel is open. Y'all should all have access to it. So if you got suggestions, whether that's a silver league, gold league, whatever it is, throw them in there. Let me read them. And get back to you. Any idea how the league play schedule will be structured? Ideally, I would like to start all leagues at the same time, so that way there is a smooth start and finish for all leagues. League schedule, it will depend on like essentially how many teams are signing up for it. We'll do like a round robin or a bracket or something. I have a lot of different formats in my back pocket to make the best out of the competition. Since this league is very close to our hearts, and some of us have been here for 3 years since day one, for the original members and the long standing in the community, when it comes to valuable decisions with anything, how much will you still value opinions in terms of how the league will go forward? I'm open to opinions and stuff like that. I value the community, right? I didn't come over here to trash your community. I came here to enrich it. So I value anything that you guys give me. But at the end of the day, I will say that just because we've always done something one way doesn't mean it's the best for our community. So my goal at the end of the day is to figure out what is best for our community. So if that's doing it the same way, then we do it the same way. If it's trying something different, then we try something different. But I'll always have an open door policy. You're welcome to talk to me about anything. Voice your opinions, voice your disagreements. I think we can disagree, and I think it's healthy to have disagreements because it causes us to think and work harder towards a common goal, right? Lem, I would love to have you. Well, let's talk some more. Eventually, we'll get you paid. It might be in peanuts and popcorn, but can you give us a date when you'll know the specifics on how you acquired SCL? At the end of the day, talk is cheap, and I think it's important to know the skin you have in the game. You know, I think actions will speak for themselves, and so I'll have to let you know at a future date. I'm not gonna give you a specific time frame yet, uh, but I think my actions will speak for themselves. And if that's not good enough for you, I'm sorry, but I ask you to stick around and find out, right? I don't know who Reggie is. Still don't know who he is. Gecko can attest to my stick-to-itiveness. I've been working on my own personal server and personal brand for several years. Sometimes slower seasons than others. But Gecko's known me for what? Since pre-pandemic, 2019, 2018.
Yeah, if not earlier.
So Gecko, do you believe me to be a man of my word, or that my talk is cheap?
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't surround myself with individuals that don't. I mean, just as a personal note, this is the guy that when I was out of options and flying into the town that he lived in, I had to hit him up in order to get a ride back from the airport, having never met him in person. Um, yeah, just and he was there. He was there with a sign that actually sits right next to my desk.
Yeah,
To this day.
yeah. It was fantastic meeting you. But yeah, that's kind of who I am. Uh, we can get more into my core beliefs at a later date. I'd love to share that with you guys. I don't think now is the time.
And I believe it's also important to highlight that this is a preliminary, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to have all the answers right in this moment. We're not going to be able to give you every minute detail. There's going to be a lot of work in the background going on as we start to identify the areas that need attention and rank those based on what the current priorities are of the league itself. And we have a very short time frame to do it in. So it's going to be a lot of heads down work, but I think, transparency is key. So having these open halls are important for that. And we want to hear the feedback. We want to hear what you all think. And yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we got some other questions. Entry fee for the team, I will get back to you on that. It is looking to be around $50 for the mid and lower teams. For anything that we do in the future that's gonna be higher, it will be a bigger entry fee, obviously. So that'll be one of the ways that we cut down on, or we tackle smurfing. Smurfing's an issue in lower leagues, right? Are there any other esports you're interested in, or are you going all out on League? Man, I love League. I have like 3 games installed on my computer, and I play League 90% of the time. So there are other games that I want to play and to build a community in, but right now this community is what takes my focus. And if we get the right people in the right places and everything is well-oiled machine, and we have a vision team in place to help run this, and we are consistent in our content and our creation of a space to compete in, then we can talk about other leagues.
Yeah, I again, to provide a little bit of additional insight there, Mount Olympus had the number 3 European Gears of War team. We won multiple championships in Call of Duty. I was actually invited to play in the Fortnite Pro-Am at E3 a couple years back, and that was at its height. So, in theory, at some point, there is room for expansion. There is networking and everything else that has already been done. So we just need to get some solid roots before we start reaching for the sky.
AJ, I know you said you had a question. Doki wants to get in the voice chat. AJ, did you want to give us your question? I don't see you ever actually said. What is Townhall? Clash of Clans. We do have a Clash of Clans clan, so. If I had to pitch for team, let's see where. Oh my gosh. All right, Paulie, chill out before I mute you. I'll give you an opportunity to speak in just a minute. Where did your question go? Okay, there you go. If you had a pitch for teams currently in SCL to get them to stay, what would you say to them? What would I say to them? Hi, I'm new. I hope you stay. I don't have anything to say other than that. Like, I want to take SCL to another level, and I want to increase competition, increase community, and so give me a chance to prove myself. If you don't like it, that's fine. Like, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but at least give me a shot. That's all I would ask. And I know there have been issues with previous management and previous admins, but I, you know, I would extend you the same courtesy.
Yeah, I mean, any additional issues or past things can be addressed on a one-on-one basis with those teams. Again, leaving the door open for transparency and open communication.
Yeah. Before we bring Polly up, I know Doki said he wanted to come up. I think you have to request to speak, Doki. If you've got Polly, if you've got an issue that went unresolved for 7 months, open a ticket and let's talk in DMs. I don't think it's appropriate to air grievances in a public town hall. There we go. We got Doki up here. What up, Doki? What can we do for you?
Hello?
Hello, hello. Polly, I've been in the server for 2 weeks. I haven't seen any of those tickets, so you'll have to open it.
Alright, so are you guys going more for a community aspect? Yes?
In terms of what?
Like for the community? Like you guys keep talking about community. So like some leagues are more competitive compared to community, but you guys keep saying community, so that's fine. Like
I think the best competition comes from within the community.
yes. My two questions would be: are you guys going to be keeping trash talk and banter? Because I noticed that you guys don't like negativity.
There's a difference between trash talk and difference between negativity.
I mean, that's like Teemo Jungle.
Yeah.
Like,
he's also a jungle main, so he gets flamed all the time. And there's a difference between saying you suck and hey bro, you gonna let them steal Baron on you again, right? One's trash talk, one's being negative, being toxic. So I'm all for trash talk. I believe in the mental aspect of the game. I believe society is very weak mentally, personally. But we're not gonna bring all my beliefs into this right now. So I do love a little trash talk as long as it's not taken too far and it's not a direct attack against somebody.
Do you think trash talk should be optional?
For what?
For like people not getting randomly added? Trash talk channel, yes.
There's a trash talk channel. I'm not familiar with what it's about and how it works.
So it's not optional. So I can just add whoever I want and say whatever I want in the trash talk channel. You know what I'm saying, and I can't be punished for it. So I think it should be an optional thing because players just get harassed for no reason.
Yeah, it might be a subscribe to channel. We can definitely throw that in suggestions, and I can address that at a later date. I don't have any thoughts on it right now. Was there anything else?
Yes. So obviously you already were told or seen that the rulebook kind of worked against the teams or players.
Yeah.
For like when they dropped out. Are you guys going to be building the rulebook with the teams since it's more community-like, or is it going to be more like, hey, this is what we're thinking of, we're going to vote for it? Let's say the community goes like 9-1 for it because there's 10 teams, but then you guys are like, actually this might be actually bad, so we're going to not put this in. But I don't know what you guys looking at explanation for it or not.
So I'm looking over reviewing the rule book, so I will present that, and then you guys will have the opportunity to look them over before the league starts and voice your opinions, and we can discuss it. So my experience is coming from all the other leagues and how the other organizations run them. So that's what I'll be basing the rule book off of. And if there's something that works better for us or doesn't, like, we'll include it or take it out. So I'm open and flexible. Whatever works best for us is what I want to do.
Okay.
So if you have things that are issues in the rulebook, I would ask that you highlight them and like take a screenshot and put them in suggestions so I can address them specifically.
Okay. I just don't know if you guys are making a silver league again, so it's kind of like up in the air to do the suggestion. But I think it might apply to other leagues. You guys
Well,
know.
whatever leagues that we currently have running, which I believe is Iron, Bronze, and Silver, is in playoffs, right?
Yes, yes. But most of the teams there, I think it's like 6. They used to be like 12. They're most like half of them are going to gold. So you're not gonna have a silver.
Okay. I mean,
league.
the idea is that we all grow, right? We all get the challenger, but and then we have new people to recruit and play with. So like, I'm not worried about people promoting into another league. You know, if they do that, we'll open another league. If everybody here turns challenger overnight, like y'all are like, we're all challenger, we can't compete anymore. Like, we'll make a challenger league. So I'm
So
I'm open. I will give you a definitive of what leagues we will be opening tomorrow. Okay. But I think it's Iron, Bronze, and Silver, a Gold League, and like a Plat League. I think is my understanding of what's currently running. There was some kind of Diamond League, but I don't think that ever took off. So, Gold and Plat are combined. Okay. Well, maybe we'll split them.
yes, please.
So. All right. Anything else before I bring Polly up?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for your
But,
feedback.
I
And-
do have one question.
Yeah.
What's your rule on slander?
On
Like-
slander? What do you mean?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So like I have Asa J, whatever his name is.
AJ?
Asa J? Yeah, AJ. I have on my team, right? People think he's smurfing.
Okay.
A bunch of people start calling him a smurf, Gen chat.
Okay.
And then they run wild with this weird ass narrative. Are they gonna be allowed to do stuff like that?
I mean, at the end of the day, I believe in free speech to, like, I can call you a smurf. Whether you're a smurf or not doesn't really affect anything. If, like, you open a ticket and say, hey, I think this guy's smurfing, then we investigate it. But if I call you a trash jungler, right, well,
I'm not talking about smurf, just the word smurf. That's all I'm saying. Nothing else.
I don't think smurfing is slander. Smurfing means you're just better than me, and I'm mad about it.
Okay, what would be smurfing? I mean, what would be slander for you in game-related talk?
Slander in game-related talk?
Yes.
I think slander is something that is defined as negatively impacting your
Opportunity?
opportunity, but also reputation. So you threw the game, you sold out to for the playoffs for one of the other teams, like a win trading. Like if you don't have proof of win trading, like that's just slander. So
like people are calling AJ a win trader. That would be slander.
to some extent, yeah.
But not smurf, correct?
Smurf, I don't feel is slander. Smurfing is a higher player playing at a lower elo, right? I think it should be discouraged, and we'll take steps to
It would hurt AJ's reputation. Like, let's say you're trying to join another league, or you're like, yo, we saw all these screenshots of people calling us smurf, so we're
Right,
not gonna take
and-
our chances.
But the other organizations should do their due diligence. So like I investigated AJ. I said he's not a Smurf, right? Until new evidence is brought to light, he's cleared as not a Smurf. And if he has a problem with another league, they can reach out to me and be like, "This is my evidence," whatever, right?
What if AJ just doesn't like being called a smurf and being harassed?
Okay, well then he can
Tell
say,
him.
"Hey, I don't appreciate being called a Smurf." Right? I don't appreciate being called a OTP. You know, you can voice your opinions and then block people. So, but I think we need to move on. We can have another conversation about that in DMs if you would like.
Okay. I
Alright.
just want to make sure what was allowed or not.
I will address the general chat topics and stuff like that at some point as well. Thank you. Polly,
Hello, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you, my guy?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Nice. What can I do for you? What questions you got for me?
So my first question is, I would now like to formally announce my bid for SCL League owner
Okay.
and leave the democracy of the people to decide.
Okay. I decline. If you're serious about being a partial owner of the league, we can talk in DMs. If you just came up here to hijack this, then I will have to mute you.
Sorry, dude, I couldn't hear. I was listening to a song. But I would also think that each team should have one dedicated champion that is unbannable.
Put it in suggestions. We'll take it into consideration.
Well, aren't we in the town hall?
Sure.
Are we voicing our opinions and trying to build something magical, or are we just talking about slander on fucking lawyers?
We are talking about what the future of SEL is. So that's why I said suggestions should go in the suggestions channel so we can grow it as a community and figure out what we.
The past and current league, how it's been ran has not been the best, my friend, and us players of the league, us paying members have been silenced and punished.
Okay. Like I said, if you, I don't have any grievances with you. If you have grievances that you want to address, open a ticket, please. Right now is not the time. I know you said that. I have.
Polly, I dealt with them with you. I will make sure that he gets shown where they're locked.
I appreciate you, Vishkar.
Alright? Yeah, no
But
problem.
Hykage and Gecko. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and chime in here, my friend. I see what you're doing,
baby.
I see what you're doing, and I understand that you have some previous grievances. However, I don't think this is the proper format for you to be trying to air those out to get a rise. I think that, yes, clearly you have some issues with how things have been previously handled, and you got to understand that we are not those previous people.
And I understand that, and need to understand who you're talking to, baby. It's the time, baby. Let's go. 3-time S.
Okay.
I'm just
I'll
gonna.
wait for you to finish.
I'm just gonna mute him and move him. All right. If you're gonna troll me, I don't have a lot of sympathy for you. So, I'm here to build something, and I would like to build it with you guys. So. Anybody else have any other questions for us? We're coming up on an hour. Production has not really been discussed. Except for the extent that, whoever wants to be a part of it is welcome to still be here. Stuff like that. So I believe everything should be done with a certain level of professionalism. That's just me. I still want to feel grassroots, but like that you can be grassroots and professional at the same time. Just because we're a small, tight-knit community doesn't mean we can't be professional. I know there was some issues with some staff in the past that I don't believe was appropriately handled. So I think Lamb will bring you up. Oh, there we go. I do believe we're building a brand and an image, and we're moving towards a big goal. So there has to be a level of professionalism and respect out of everybody. Uh, does the old staff and members have a role in the new SCL? Yes. This is your community. I'm just the new face of it. I would love to help make this what it can be. So if you want to be a part of the new regime moving forward, send me a DM. Let's talk. Let's see what you bring to the table and see where you fit in. Oh, that'd be super helpful, Vishkara. Thank you. Lamb, what's up? You are unmuted. You can speak. Lamb, are you there? Oh, he's getting his AirPods. He's just super shy. That's why it makes him one of the best casters ever. Yeah, he doesn't talk much. That's what I've heard. What is the Google Doc? What Google Doc are you referring to?
The Google Doc they're talking about is I'll get the link and send it to you. Upset player. I'll send it to you. It doesn't need to be gone over in the town hall.
Okay, thank you. Do I have any existing connections with League Esports specifically?
Yes.
Lots. AJ, was that your question earlier? I think it got lost in the spam.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me now?
We can.
Holy shit. These fucking AirPods are so trash, dude. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? What can I do for you?
I was gonna ask kind of what LT says. Like, how many of the previous staff are you gonna keep?
I mean, those that want to stay and those that are doing something here, I'm more than happy to keep.
Which is none of them, dude. Fire them.
Fire them all? Okay.
I think it's going to be addressed on an individual, case-by-case basis with both feedback from the community as well as, a group understanding of where we want to go moving forward.
That's good, man. So what made you guys decide to do this with SCL then? Like, I know you said your buddy mentioned SCL to you or something?
Yeah. He introduced me.
So what made you decide to go all in on this league?
Opportunity. I believe you have a 30-second window for opportunity to seize it, and so I seized it.
Nice, dude. Have any of you guys actually watched over any of the previous VODs for like production and stuff yet, or no?
I have not had time to yet.
Okay. In terms of producing, in, like we kind of really struggle to get consistent producers. I want to say we struggled, but man, we always winged it. It was pretty good. But is there a plan going forward on how you're going to attract talent from the production side? Because the way that we kind of had that outlook was we have a certain standard of how the production is going to be, and we would try and invite people over who wanted to succeed at that, which a few of them have, and they've gone on to do like better things now. You know, like Resin. Like usually when the casters come over here, they're in amongst the amateur league already.
Yeah.
But do you guys have a new window into that, or is it going to be like the same revolving door, or are you just going to have consistency like pairs, or?
Well, Gecko, my guy here, is a fantastic caster. I've already
I'll
recruited
put
him.
that to the test, dude.
We've got some other buddies that have signed up for casting as well. Maybe some rookies, but I think some new fresh talent. They're really fun guys. So I would like to have dedicated casting and dedicated production. Like that's the goal. Is that by the beginning of next year, we are paying our production staff so that they're more entitled to be loyal to us. That we get first opportunity to run them for whatever we need.
That's a good outlook to have. One thing I can say that one of my good buddies, Luke, he's actually in the chat right now. So he has his own company where he produces, well, not produces talent, but he works with casters who take it a little bit more serious. So
Yeah.
if that's a window of opportunity you guys want to look at, I would highly recommend that, because that dude is insane. Same with his production, like he will do absolutely everything. And I've worked with him for such a long time. Like I took a back seat recently from casting because I just don't really want to do it anymore. But like I said, I would only do it for the SCL. So having like-minded people is the biggest thing. If you've got like-minded people, then you'll be successful, right?
Right.
So I'm not very good at the Discord stuff or organization, but when it comes to like putting on a show for people who actually be intrigued and listen to, that's where I kind of care about more than anything else, right?
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're one of our guys for that, and we'd love to have you. So let's talk some more at a later date when we can get some of these other questions sorted out, and I have answers to for you. So if
That's
you're
in the contract, dude.
okay, sounds good.
No, I just wanted to chime in and meet you guys officially, kind of thing. So I think all your responses have been really good. I know that Doki came on here and talked a load of shit, but Doki is one of the community members, and Paulie got timed out, but he's one of the OGs as well. He's been here since day one, so he's not used to being told to shut up, kind of thing. So you might upset a few people in the process, but people have to respect what you're doing and what you're coming into, right? Because it's not an easy task. But our community is kind of solid, and do you know what? Most of the organizations that are here, I would encourage them to stay, because I know their stories, I know their players, and that's a big thing when it comes to actually representing a league. And I think with the way that we were being consistent in that last season, that we had that opportunity already to go one step above, but because of personal commitments from a lot of our friends, I want to say, not staff members, they're friends, we couldn't actually reach that. So hopefully with you guys in place and we have dedicated people to actually take us to that next step, then I'll be there for the ride, man.
Okay. Yeah, my goal is to bring the right people in to make it happen. So it sounds like you're on board with that vision. So I would love to have you.
Also, shout out to Vishkara, who's been carrying this for so long.
That is my understanding as well. So I've been all up in her DMs for the last like 48 hours, and she has been.
Damn, Soulkeeper, don't have it, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. I've been in both their DMs and questioning them and pinging them. I'm sure they're about to block me, but I've been super grateful to have them on the team and just give me support and fill me in on on the missing pieces about the league. So like I'm very blessed to have you guys still
Nice.
be here and guiding me.
Well,
I
we
didn't
we
speak good about the LT.
well, we definitely welcome you with open arms, man. You're a breath of fresh air, and you kind of reignited my passion a little bit when I see SCL this active. So hopefully we can continue going forward, and I know you'll have the backing of everybody to succeed. So don't take it too personal when people say random shit to you. There's a few interesting characters in here, but
There's always
if you need
some.
help with that,
I'm usually
oh
the
yeah,
interesting character in my community, so I'm okay with there being some other main characters up in here.
yeah, well you definitely got that here. Okay, I'll head off, man. But
All right,
thank
thank
you
you.
for your time.
Nice talking to you.
You too, brother.
All right, anybody else got any other questions? I'm not sure what you mean by adaptive schedule for the league. Can we decide on what days we play? You can throw that in suggestions. That would be a possibility. An adaptive schedule is really hard to have a streaming schedule for, right? If we want to stream your games and you're like, I want to play on Tuesdays this week and Wednesdays next week, like it makes it really hard to schedule production. So one of the things that we want to do is give you guys exposure, produce content for you guys. So I'm not saying no, but I'm saying there is, just as there are pros to it, there are cons to it. So I will take it into consideration. Definitely, please drop that in suggestions so I don't forget about it. The shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. So. Points league or cap leagues? In terms of what? Can I put the first three seasons of SCL into the record book? If I can find all the stats and games, then I would be happy to. Put it in a Hall of Heroes, Hall of Fame. Put it in the stats book.
I don't think you're going to be able to due to the issue they had before this season, the new Discord, new everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all background stuff. But yeah, sadly, I don't think you're gonna be able to find all the back stuff unless you can get the teams that play to resubmit it to you.
Yeah. So, Paulie, I'll put you in charge of that. If you can gather all the information that I need to make that happen, I will make it happen. We got a deal? Can we bring Blessings back to be in charge of the PayPal? Not sure who Blessings is.
No.
No. Vishkara has spoken. The Queen has spoken. Is there a plan to expand the streaming to cover multiple games per week? Last season, since most of the regular season games were happening at the same time, there was only room to cast one regular season game per week. Any plans to change this and provide more coverage? So with the SCL, we will have our streamed games, right? And then we have other content creators that are streamers as well. And so I would love the opportunity to give them opportunities to stream and cast games for us as well. So we won't have multiple channels, but we'll host them on our other streamers is my idea. Conspire to Aspire is a streamer. Gecko's a streamer. We have lots of other contacts with them, other streamers. And so I think we do have opportunity to stream other games. And as we grow as an organization and bring on talent, I think we might be able to achieve that as well. What time zone are we operating in? We are going to be in the Central Time Zone. Gecko's on that island time, so ignore him.
Oh, West Coast time. I wish I was on island.
What time is it for Central? Right now, it is 4:19. Central is the one that nobody uses. That's why we're using it. East Coast thinks they're goated. That's all I've just got to say. Moving on. Any other questions? I don't see many suggestions being posted, so if you guys aren't really serious about your suggestions, that's fine by me. But don't be mad when they're not taken into consideration. Did Zoro ever explain the in-houses? No. Rank caps and leagues. It should be right under the general section. Suggestions. I'll sit in at everyone ping. Yeah, everyone should have access to it. Oh, Gecko beat me to it. There we go. You can DM me how it works. Alright, appreciate it, AJ. What else? I know everybody's got things they want to do, games they want to play, and stuff like that, so we'll try and wrap this up in the next 10 minutes, unless like there's just a lot of other pressing questions. Good. I'm really big on communication and transparency, so I would like to do town halls fairly regularly, just to kind of give you status updates on what's going on. So you'll probably see more of these moving forward. This whole thing has been recorded and will be uploaded to either my YouTube or SCL YouTube, and the link will be posted in the chat so you guys can have those that missed it. You can send it to your friends and whatnot. And if y'all have any questions, y'all can throw it up. Well, it doesn't look like anybody else has got any questions. Huge shout out to Rishkara for helping me out, and Gecko for stepping in, for Soulkeeper. You guys have been awesome. Really, really happy to meet some of the production team. Looking forward to working with you guys and getting this all sorted out to a next level. So Gecko, you have any closing comments?
No, I just wanted to thank you and everyone here for having me on today. You know, I like I said before, just want to echo the fact that I think that there's really a lot of potential. There's some really great bones here, and you know, I ask everyone to give us a little bit of grace in the coming weeks as we tackle the shift of power and, you know, getting caught up on everything. Obviously, you know, there's what, 3+ years of history here. So, you know, a little bit of grace goes a long way, but, you know, we're going to do our best to get everything going with everyone here. And, yeah, so thank you all.
So, yeah, tell your friends we're back. We'll be operating in full capacity soon, so please help us spread the word. Also, go follow Gecko on TikTok. He's incredibly attractive, so, you know, Man Crush Monday's coming up. You should go watch his content. What's your TikTok, Gecko?
I think it's just at Gecko.
He'll post it somewhere.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for your time. Really appreciate every one of you guys that showed up, all the questions that were asked, all the feedback. So, dance party to end the stream. Yeah, let's dance party. Well, that looks like an epic dance party. Let's go. But really appreciate you guys. So, look forward to talking with more of y'all and seeing y'all around the Discord. If you have any other questions, you can open tickets. My DMs are open. Please post your suggestions and let your friends know that we're live. So, thank y'all so much.